Okay, that's great. And Hyperledger, I understand that's part of the Linux Foundation, right? But it's not really within the Linux Foundation. It's a kind of segregated initiative, right?
So every project under the Linux Foundation has its own governance structure. So in 2015, 23 companies came together and decided that they wanted to build an enterprise blockchain consortium, right? There was companies that had code that they wanted to contribute. This included IBM with their contribution of what is now known as Fabric. This included Intel with their contribution of a project that is now known as Sawtooth, as well as a company called Seiremitsu in Japan, who contributed Iroha. So all those code contributions came in 2016 and 2017, early 2017. Because the community understood that blockchain was going to be important, and a lot of people didn't think blockchain was going to be important at the time, but the enterprises certainly did. And we had collaboration in financial services from some of the world's largest banks, healthcare companies, obviously large technology companies like Accenture and IBM, SAP, and others as well. And they knew that they wanted to build open source software collaboratively. And what that means is people come together, they bring their code, they bring their engineers, and they start basically building these projects. And very importantly, it's built under what we call open governance. So the Hyperledger Foundation today has a governing board, and this is made up of our premier members, and it has a technical oversight committee. And that technical oversight committee is voted upon by the developers in the ecosystem. So they vote who is going to be the governance, basically, of the project on a yearly basis. And this really leaves an important aspect of what we do here at the Linux Foundation, which is not just open source, right? Anyone could open source a piece of code. You could put it on GitHub, and you could say, now everybody can see the code. But it's more importantly, open development and open governance. How do you make sure that anyone who shows up can have influence over the code, can participate, can contribute, from the simplest things of finding a bug and fixing the bug and contributing that, to making sure that from a project future that they have impact, right? That they have input into where the roadmap, for example, on these very important projects that are being used in the world's biggest supply chains, trade finance networks, central bank digital currencies, and digital identity infrastructures around the world. So how do you make sure that you do that? So the Hyperledger Foundation, when we started in 2016, was really focused on building these bringing together these companies and government organizations to collaboratively build what we call blockchain and blockchain-related technologies, which today, fast forward 7 years, the market is certainly very different and mature. And I think the foundation, the Hyperledger Foundation, has really made sure that we brought in the best of the projects that really address today's market needs.